Hello, everyone. We are back for a final episode of Ton Talks brought to you by Superscript here on ESPNcricinfo. Alexis Nunes here with Lydia, Greenway, and Darren Gough joining me. They're absolutely buzzing because they're getting ready to head to another 100 game. But it's been a week since we last caught up, so let's get a look at some of the highlights over the last week. The Northern Superchargers became the first team to ever post 200 in the tournament after John Simpson teed off versus Manchester Originals. There was then more misery for Manchester a few days later as Dawid Malan's classy 52 steered Trent Rockets home. Sophia Dunkley's outstanding 58 not out saw Southern Brave power past the Oval Invincibles before Colin de Grandhomme and Alex Davies saw the men win too. Eve Jones then secured Birmingham a place in the eliminator with an excellent 64 before the men went one better, getting directly to the final after Liam Livingstone's unbelievable 92 not out saw them defeat Northern Superchargers. All right, guys, absolutely buzzing because we're finally towards the end of the tournament now. This is the business end of the tournament. Eliminator time. Let's start off with the women and look ahead to the first one, the Oval Invincibles up against the Birmingham Phoenix. Lydia, let's start with you in this one. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, I think it will be an interesting game, to be honest, because if you just have a brief look at both teams and the journey they've been on in the competition so far, the Birmingham Phoenix couldn't win a game at the start, and now they've sort of gained a bit of momentum, and then the Oval Invincibles have sort of been there and thereabouts. They lost recently to the Southern Brave, so arguably they might be coming in with not lacking confidence, but obviously with some areas to improve on. But for me, the captain of the Oval Invincibles, Dane van Niekerk, has been outstanding with the bat and with the ball, and also from a leadership point of view. And given the fact that they're also playing at home, I think they feel pretty happy about life.
Yeah, look, Birmingham have been amazing, really. You've got Izzy Wong, who people know now. I've talked her up so many times. I think she's got huge potential. She's bowling around 72, 73 miles per hour now. I think she can get up to 76, 77, which is pretty quick in the women's game. And Kirsty Gordon, for me, underrated. I think she's been fantastic in the tournament with her left arm spin. So I think they've got some fantastic players, and they might just shock Oval Invincibles. Saying that, before the tournament started, I went for Southern Brave men to win it and the Oval Invincibles women to win it. So the Oval Invincibles, I think they've got their two quick bowlers back, and I think they might just be peaking at the right time.
Yeah, I think from consistency and depth, I'll go with the Invincibles.
Let's move on now to the men, the Southern Brave up against the Trent Rockets. Goughy, let's go with you for this one. How do you see this one going?
Well, this is good. I mean, you look at the Southern Brave, they lost the opening two games, didn't they? And I thought my prediction was going to go absolutely out of the window big time. But Jay Wardner, a fantastic leader, doing well in the IPL. He's a proper coach. He's thinking on his feet all the time. They brought in Lintop, who's been a surprise. Well, it was a surprise. He came in, didn't he, for an injury. He's been fantastic. If you think the overseas players they've lost and missing Jofra Archer as well, and they've still managed to get to this stage, I think it's a great effort. I really do. But they've still got fantastic players. The player that's come in as an overseas player is Quinton de Kock from South Africa. He's one of the most dangerous players in world cricket. I love watching him bat. When you look around the world now, people you want to watch, he is one of them without a doubt. Good side. Up against Trent Rockets. Now, on paper, I look at Trent Rockets now, and I think they are another fantastic side. They've got everything. They've got bowling, they've got batting, they've got a bit of pace as well. So with Rashid Khan in your attack, I think they might cause an upset. So I'm going to go against my prediction and go for the Trent Rockets to beat the Southern Brave. What about that?
If I was to tip someone, I would go Trent Rockets. I think they've got the players within their group to win big games.
All right, so those are the predictions. Now let's look ahead quickly to the final because there are two teams that are already in the final because they've been stellar throughout the tournament. Let's start off with the men. The Birmingham Phoenix are there. Our good friend of the show as well, Ian Bell, has had a little part to play in that one, he would say. What's made the Birmingham Phoenix so solid to get here, you think, Goughy? What's been the key for them?
Well, a young kid called Will Smeed. I mean, what a player. I'd never seen him before. I said, where's he come from? Which school did he come out of? Absolutely gone in from the start, been outstanding, got him off to great starts alongside Finn Hallen. But obviously, when you've got players like Moeen Ali and Liam Livingstone coming to the party, both have had spells as captain. Moeen Ali's going to be allowed to play as well in the final. So they're fantastic. But when you talk about an all-round team, the pace of Adam Milne, wow, he has blown me away. And he can't even get in New Zealand. I think he's a reserve for the T20 World Cup. What a fantastic performer, great pace.
They've also got Chris Benjamin, who's come in and played some outstanding innings. He's, again, someone like Will Smeed, who people didn't really know too much about. But I think, for me, the Phoenix have got that great variety in their bowling attack, but I think their batting lineup is just so strong. Will Smeed and Finn Allen, they're only young as well. What's Will Smeed, 19? Finn Allen's 22, and so they're fresh and they're just completely fearless, and you can tell that with how they play their cricket.
What about Liam Livingstone, Lydia? Over 300 runs, he hit a 40 ball, 92 not out. Unreal form he's been in.
He was amazing the other evening at Headingley. We were there actually covering the game, and it wasn't a case of is the ball going to go for six. It was a case of how big is this six going to be. That's in how good a form he is at the moment. And yeah, I mean, you look at the England lineup and it's such a hard team to get into at the moment, but Livingstone is doing, I think, everything that he possibly can to put a case for him, and it's consistency as well. I think when people talk about England players, sometimes people get excited too quickly about certain players and suddenly say, oh, they should be pushing on to the next level. But I think for Livingstone, it's probably his consistency as well that is really making people starting to take note of him. But yeah, he's been outstanding, and yeah, along with the other guys in that Phoenix lineup, I think that's why their batting is just so strong.
And Gough, just on Lydia's point there, do you think Livingstone's done probably enough to get himself a spot, or at least get close enough to a spot on that really tough to get into England T20 World Cup squad?
Well, you're right. That's a good question, because 12 months ago, we wouldn't have even been saying Liam Livingstone's going to get into it, because it's such an hard team to break into. Owen Morgan's got it down. He knows exactly what he wants, and it's very, very difficult to get yourself into that side. But now I can't see a team. I honestly can't see a team of England in a one-day game without Liam Livingstone. That's the only thing they were lacking, is that finisher who could come in at anywhere from 3, 4, 5, 6, or even 7 Liam Livingstone and bash the ball out the ground.
Let's look ahead to the women now, the team that's actually in the final. And for me, it probably wasn't a surprise, because I actually had seen them play the Southern Brave twice, and they definitely looked like one of the teams, if not the team to beat. Lydia, just looking at some of the star power that they have. I mean, my girl, Stephanie Taylor, they've got Danny Wyatt, Sophia Dunkley, who's been absolutely amazing with the bat. Like I said, they have that star power, but what do you think has been so key for them to getting to where they are now?
Yeah, I think when you look back on their wins, or their big wins, I think it's been down to their opening partnership. I think Danny Wyatt and Smriti Mandana had been brilliant throughout the competition. And then you had people like Sophia Dunkley coming in who scored runs. So that their batting, I think, has been brilliant. And then the other dynamic I like is Charlotte Edwards as head coach. We were talking about Jaya Wardner, but for me in the women's game, Charlotte Edwards just seems to bring a winning habit. She's done it at domestic level, and she's also worked well with Anya Shrubsole as well. So yeah, that combination of Charlotte Edwards and Anya Shrubsole, I think, has had quite a big part to play in their success so far.
Well, final two questions now. This one could be a bit difficult, but we've mentioned a ton of big names, of course, that have impressed us all throughout the tournament. We still have, the eliminators and the final to go. But if you guys had to choose your player or players of the tournament so far, who would they be and why? Lydia, let's go with you.
Yeah, I've got an answer straight away for this. Darne van Niekerk, the Oval Invincibles captain, I think she's been brilliant. She's led from the front. She's scored over 200 runs. She's taken wickets. And she's done all of that in real pressured situations. So, yeah, very, very clear on that one. Darne van Niekerk, she's been brilliant.
She is the heartbeat of that side, the Oval Invincibles. I can't go past van Niekerk. I mean, superb.
And what about for the men?
Well, it'll be easy, that one. Again, I think Liam Livingston's just popped his name right in there. He's always been a good player, but the last couple of games he's really stood out, and he's a fantastic player, all-round cricketer, batting, bowling, fielding. He has been defined for me the last 18 months. What a player! What a player!
I'd agree with that, definitely.
Well, final questions now, and this one's the hardest because it involves a prediction of who's going to win it all. But before we do get to that, guys, just thoughts on the 100 on a whole now that we are at the business end of the tournament. What do you guys think, and has your opinion been changed from the start to finish?
Yeah, I guess I can talk specifically for the women's side of things, because I think that's where I've seen a lot in terms of the growth, but I think the 100 has just sort of catapulted the women's game, to a place that we didn't think would be possible in such a short space of time. I think it's a ridiculous number. Something like over 200,000 people have come to watch the women's games. And I think for the domestic players to be playing against the world's best players, it will only help the national team in terms of England, and that's what we want. We want our national team getting better as well, and so I've been a massive fan of it. I think from the men's side of things, if one of your measures of success is have we brought new spectators to the game, then I think the answer is yes to that. So from that point of view, I would say that the men's 100 has been an absolute success as well, based on that.
Well, the way I look at it is, it's a game of cricket, and if we played 20 balls, 40 balls, 60 balls, 80 balls, 750 balls, people would come and watch it because we love the game. But as a spectacle, it's been outstanding. I always thought it would be. I didn't think there'd be any problems I've always been a fan of bringing new things into cricket. The one thing I'd like to see, and I think that not quite good, and this is no disrespect whatsoever, is the boundaries, I believe, for the women's game have been miles too big. Miles too big. I want to see, like in the men's game, the atmosphere grown out, and you get that by more sixes. I just think that for some reason the boundaries have been miles too big, but it's been a huge success. The fans we've had in there for the women's game to start and the men's game to finish has been outstanding, because for the England women, it's all about winning the Ashes. And I don't think they've done that for a while, but if they keep playing in competitions like this, it's going to keep improving. The Big Bash over in Australia, a women's IPL, which I'm sure is just around the corner. The women's game is going strength to strength, and that's great to see.
All right, final chance now to give me your pick quickly of who's going to take it all in your opinion. We won't hold it against you if it doesn't happen, but from what you've seen so far, who's it going to be, Lydia?
I'm going to go for the women Oval Invincibles, and for the men, I'm going to go for Trent Rockets.
Coffee?
I was going to say exactly the same, but I'm going to be different. I've got to go Oval Invincibles. I've said them from the start, and I just think they're peaking at the right time. They really, really are. I think they've got everything: off spin, left arm seam, fast right arm seam, all rounders, and a great captain. So I'm going to go for Oval Invincibles. And the men's one is a very, very difficult one. I'm going to go for the Phoenix. I just think I'm finding them very hard to beat at this moment in time, full of confidence. The Phoenix.
All right, there we have it. Thank you guys so much. Thanks to Gough, thanks to Lydia, thanks to everyone for watching. We're at the business end of the 100, and it's been an absolute thrill to be on board. We hope everyone enjoys the rest of the games, and thanks for watching Ton Talks presented by Superscript right here on ESPN Cricinfo.